Well, there's absolutely no doubt that Obama and the Democrats had everything to do with coronavirus. It's going to take a little bit of a history lesson in connecting the dots and putting things together. And I've noticed that most people don't seem to like doing that because, you know, if you can't explain something in the first 5 seconds, then automatically you lose their attention. But that's just a risk I'm going to have to take because that's just how people are nowadays. So if you really want to know this, you're going to have to really think about what I'm saying and pay attention and really put things together that you're not hearing in the news. You're never going to hear this in the news. They're not going to tell you. But however, they do put pieces of it in the news. And I give you the headlines here that I've already clipped on here on this blog so that you can put it together. Actually, it's not a blog. It's Google Docs. But anyway, so I have it put together here for you. So I'm just going to read it because I've already written it out in a way that makes so much sense. And then that'll order my thoughts a lot better than if I just try to do it from my memory. So the British Crown has had long business ties with China. You probably remember right here, okay? Hong Kong was what? It had everything to do with the opium sales from Britain to China, all right? So first using them as customers for the opium drug consumption as far back as the 1830s. It wasn't until 1997 that the Queen honored the 100-year contract to cede Hong Kong back to China. The British have had nearly 200 years of business trade with China, and America threw the crown out at roughly the same time. Any attack against China must inevitably affect these deep, long-rooted ties. Really think about what I just said there. There's an attack in the British Crown's mind on China right now from Trump. And the Queen surely likes her loyal customers a whole lot more than she likes her rebellious former subjects. And that's a fact, folks. Reports that Barack Obama was born in Kenya, a British colony until 1963, continued throughout his administration even to this day, despite a possibly forged document from Hawaii having been shown to the public. Obama was born in 1961, making him, if he was indeed born in Kenya at the time, a subject of the Queen. And considering that Obama as president greatly enriched the Queen through giveaways of American mines and wealth and massive trade deficits, it certainly seems that he may have acted as the Queen's groomed British 007 Manchurian candidate as president. I have zero doubt about that. Throughout the Obama administration, China also walked all over America, maintaining massive trade deficits that grew nearly incomprehensibly large. Gee, I wonder whose team Obama was on and which side was China on there, huh? Obama served his master well, the crown, the Queen. In 2013, Vice President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, received $1.5 billion from a subsidiary of the Bank of China, according to later allegations by President Trump that I personally believe are 100% true. Here's a little headline. I'm not just pulling this out of my rear end from the Washington Post. Trump says Hunter Biden walks out of China with $1.5 billion, even though, you know, of course, Biden's lawyer is going to deny it, of course. Now, Hugh, who I'm writing my book about, who all the military communication is about, whose names, trademark, civil rights case was all being covered up by 9/11. That guy. Hugh has seen firsthand the role of the United States senators running the drug trade in America because they ran it on his property in Michigan, okay? And he stopped that, turned them in, and a lot of that they had to cover up. The CIA had to cover up with the senators, with Graham Media, and so on. All right, some of the people buying and selling the drugs were Tom and Hanks, and you immediately get Tom Hanks, you know. And then one of them was Nichols and McVeigh, two of them. And then you get Nichols and McVeigh in the Oklahoma City bombings. All that's part of this drug trade that the senators do, okay? So Hugh has seen this firsthand. And Vice President Biden, by the rules of the Constitution, serves as president of the Senate. Remember, the senators run the drug trade with your CIA in this country. And as we've already discussed numerous times in this book, Senator Graham has used his family's WJR radio in Detroit. And I'm saying this because part of this is going to go in my book. Has used family's WJR radio in Detroit, where Rush Limbaugh started, right there in Michigan in Detroit, in WJR radio, to hide drug activity. Even today, opium products still come mainly from China, not from Mexico or South America. Okay? All this begs the question, what other perks might Hunter Biden have received along with his alleged $1.5 billion deal? When Donald Trump ran for president against Clinton in 2016, it wasn't hard to figure out what side China was on along with their British counterparts. And in 2020, while looking back at Biden's deal with China, it's not hard to find out who is with who this time either. Throughout his term, President Trump created tariffs on Chinese products. One can speculate that the president actually cares about making America better, possible, or that he just wants a piece of the pie and wants to run some of this drug trade himself. Whatever the case, stronger and tougher negotiations ensued throughout 2019. Trump met with Chinese President Xi Jinping and held a historic summit with North Korean President Kim Jong-un. The president declared his meeting a great success, of course. Excuse me. But somebody must not have liked them. The conflict may have been tacitly demonstrated when President Trump supposedly kept royals waiting an hour at Buckingham Palace early in the December of 2019. During the reception, Prince Charles may have discreetly given the president a one-fingered salute while then refusing to shake his hand. Nearing the end of 2019, warning shots that an impending retaliation was imminent had already hit the airwaves to anyone discerning enough to hear them. Most people didn't catch it. Below's the headline on CNN on December 5th, 2019. North Korea warns the United States to prepare for a, quote, Christmas gift, unquote. But no one's sure what to expect. Notice that South Korea's President Kim Jong-un is riding a white horse while warning of a soon-appearing Christmas gift. A white horse is a long and well-understood symbol of death, war, and pestilence. You just got declared war on America, and you missed it. Only a few weeks after Kim Jong-un's subtle but dire warning, the CIA had already begun to betray its role in the impending disaster because your CIA doesn't work for you. Remember, it works for the drug trade. It works with Britain. It works just for itself and for any part of its own, not the Italian mafia, but its own mafia people who run, like mafia-like people who run and sell the drugs and want to sell guns to Mexico, and you know they get the drugs in return and they sell them. That's who your CIA is for. They're not for you, America. They never have been. They were created to initially to hide the murders of presidents. Okay, anyone that had a part in making the soon-to-be released disaster, the CIA would then turn over discreetly to the FBI and have those people arrested. So the CIA has already employed people to make this attack happen. They've already been working on it, and then to hide the evidence right before it came out, they turned in the people that they hired to work on it. And on January 28th, the following headlines, such as the one pictured below, in this case in C and EN, began to appear with almost no notice from the average American as Charles Lieber, the chair of the Department of Chemistry and Biology, wound up in handcuffs. And where did he work? He worked at Harvard and at Wuhan. And he was making millions of dollars, arrested by the FBI. Now the fact checkers will go on there and they'll try to tell you, oh no, he wasn't arrested because of this. Yeah, okay, well you read between the lines, because the fact checkers are lying to you because they don't read between the lines and really put all this together. But Hugh did notice, and he did keep track of the headlines. That's why I have this stuff, okay? He was paying attention, already discerning that something was about to happen. I knew about this because he knew about it months before you knew about it, okay? We already knew there was a coronavirus coming out in China, and it was headed this way. He had already kept this headline. All right, for this reason, the author knew 2 months before coronavirus made any real mark in America that it was real and on the way. And clearly, the connection between Wuhan and Harvard had already been made. And also, I want to go back a second. I've known for years that one of these diseases was going to come to America. I had already saved up toilet paper 2 years ago because I told my wife, I said, one of these viruses that they keep trying to make happen, they keep experimenting with, one of these is going to stick. They're going to make a big deal out of one of these. That's why I'm saving up toilet paper. At times she didn't believe me, but I said, just watch. You'll see sometime, and I didn't know how long. I actually thought it'd probably take a little longer, but lo and behold, then we get coronavirus. Okay, so I already knew it was coming. Something was coming, and it was going to be disease related. And I even told my wife the first thing that's going to disappear is toilet paper. So I figured this out, not exactly like this, but I was reading the clues somewhat for the last several years. Now, anyway, back to the story. The Queen's operatives had begun to play their hand. Barack Obama graduated from Harvard, where Charles Lieber was arrested, where he was working. Barack Obama graduated from Harvard in 1991. Ooh, 19 and 9-1. Isn't that interesting? Look at those numbers. When COVID-19 first came out to America 19 years after 9/11. Think there's any connection there? Oh, yeah, they're all the same numbers, 9 and 1. Yeah, you have to be really dumb not to see that. It first arrived in the state of Washington and made quick progress at the Kirkland Funeral Home in King County. One nursing home, 35 coronavirus deaths inside the Kirkland disaster, from the Wall Street Journal. Real headlines, not making this up. Once again, the CIA planners and their foreign counterparts, including a former president of the United States, knew exactly how to attack America by using the descendant of its founders, Hugh Squier, as the chess piece of their military communication. And they've been doing this since the Vietnam War. That same former president has already attacked Hugh by having his own White House correspondent from CBS hide the murder of his wife, Victoria Milan. And here was a post that he made 2 years before. This is just like when he made the post where he was where he had written Pink Floyd's music, and he played the music for 8 minutes and 40 seconds 2 years to the day before Floyd was murdered. And so they always use him for military communication. It's all related. Well, here he was in King County at Kirkland, where the disease first came to America, and look, he takes a picture of wearing a mask. That's why you have to wear a mask today, and this is how they designed it. This is all part of their planning, and they think of this stuff years in advance. So, and this is from 2014. All right, so now everyone must wear masks to help avoid spreading or contacting this very serious man-made disease, a biological weapon involving both agents at Harvard and Wuhan University in China. It's also interesting to note that the plague ended in the year 1353. That date's real important because Hugh was born in 53. COVID-19 was created in 2019, which is 666 years exactly after the plague ended, while Hugh was 66 years old. The original plague started in Asia and spread to Europe, and now the Chinese and British create and spread COVID-19 with help from agents, CIA agents, and help from Harvard that helped create it. If anyone wonders whether former President Barack Obama knew about the COVID-19 case in advance, look no further. In 2018, Obama's United Nations ambassador Susan Rice joined the board of directors of the Netflix company that rents and sells movies to home viewers. To the left is the headline from Netflix's own media center. Again, this is from them, not pulling this out of my rear end, okay? From their own media center announcing the appointment of Susan Rice to the company's board of directors in March of 2018. See, right here for you. I just clipped that and posted it right there from the headline. As COVID-19 spread across America, states and communities began issuing preventative stay-at-home orders. As a result, millions and millions of people began subscribing to Netflix just to pass the long hours at home. I'm sure some of you listening to this did the same thing. Look at what happened to the price of Netflix stock after the next couple years after Susan Rice joined the board of directors and coronavirus spread. I mean, think about it. You're a United Nations ambassador and your next job is to work for Netflix. You know, that's just doesn't seem, it seems very non sequitur. Well, there's a reason for it. Look, here she joins in 2018, and the stock has tripled since then. It was 220 or so. Now it's at 516, okay? Almost tripled. One has to wonder how anyone could seem to know that so many people would soon be at home with nothing to do but to watch movies. What a great coincidence to join the board of directors at such a convenient time. Since 2018, Netflix stock has more than doubled. And what's the Queen doing with this opportunity? Remember, Obama works for the Queen. British 007 Manchurian candidate. What's the Queen doing? Oh, it looks like she's in the movie business too. Just another coincidence? People magazine here, their website, Queen Elizabeth is turning her country home into a drive-in movie theater. See what's playing. Now, I don't think she's necessarily selling money there, but she knows where the real money is, and this is how they manipulate the news so that they can tell you what they're really doing without really telling you. They manipulate things. They manipulate the news, and the news helps them do it. That's the media con, okay? So the media is constantly hiding real truth in plain sight, just like it's doing here. They tell you what the Queen is really doing by saying she's now watching movies. And just after the Queen's Prince Harry and his wife Markle go to Canada to tell the world they don't want to live in America, oh, a few weeks later they change their minds, and guess what they're doing now? They're signing a multi-year deal with Netflix. You think the stock's probably going to go up? Yeah, it might. Oh, and by the way, the day before, I also knew that the Kodak company was going to go up too. The day before, it went from $2 a share to $53 a share. But Hugh stopped me from buying it because I didn't want. He didn't, and both of us were like, "No, we can't help pedophiles. Okay, that would be dishonest. We know it's going to happen, but helping the pedophiles and the people that plan 9/11, we're not going to do that. It's unethical." I could have made $100,000 that day by buying a few, stock options or something in Kodak. You know. $2 to $53 a share, and I figured they would mark his birthday, and instead they marked the year of his birth, 53, like we talked about before. So I would have got out of it at $47 a share that morning, and instead it went all the way to 53, to the year instead of the day that he was born. Absolutely amazing what they did. Well, anyway, and I saw it coming. I was literally sitting there on the internet watching the stock price rise as it went up, watching what it was doing. Now look at this. This is Harris's family. Oh, now her dad wrote this book, Reflections of a Jamaican Father, or maybe it's an article, I don't know, but it came right from the links, right from Wikipedia. They have all those links at the bottom where they get their information. You should check those once in a while. You find some interesting things. Look what Donald J. Harris, her father from Jamaica, says. My roots go back within my lifetime to my paternal grandmother, Miss Christney, descendant of Hamilton Brown, who's on record as a plantation and slave owner. So, what is Harris right now? Oh, this is part of the same. This is the same thing that Obama was. Obama was a British subject, half black, half white, allegedly. Well, this is British people and your crown still trying to get more power in this country. Okay, now. There they are again. What is Jamaica? Okay, British. British brought hundreds of thousands of enslaved Africans to Jamaica. Okay, and her father says their roots go back to where they were slave owners. So they were part of the British bringing slaves to America. That's Kamala Harris' family. She's not black. Now she doesn't say she's black. She says she's brown. So they're always saying black and brown. Since we started exposing this, now she's changed it to black and brown. Okay, it's too obvious. But everybody around her goes ahead and tries to fool as many black votes as they can by saying, oh, she's actually black. But she herself says black and brown. Well, the other side of her is from where? Her mother is from Sri Lanka. Here's Sri Lanka. Here's India. Sri Lanka is like a province. It's an island province of India down here. Okay, and what was India? Oh, a British colony, just like Hong Kong. Okay, do you get this? This is British. This is a British attack on your country once again to make money. So That's what's going on. And this is the reality. And Trump retaliated, okay, by, and I didn't put the pictures up for this, but he retaliated by creating these riots. You know what they do is that, if you ever notice, you can see that you can just type it in, Hell's Angels start riots in Minneapolis. You know, it's the biker gangs and other agents that start the riots. This is how Trump retaliated. This is why all the riots are in Democratic-held cities, because he was retaliating against the Democrats for doing this coronavirus mess on him. Okay, now, so you have. What happens with these rioters is the CIA and his branch of the CIA, or his backers, his people, will go out and hire. Everybody has their political machine. Democrats have their political machine, and in order to run for president, you have to have this sort of apparatus already in play. That's why they say that the president's elected, not elected. Well, that's sort of true, somewhat. Your vote does still play a role, but you know, just like in 9/11, you had Bush or Kerry. Either one was going to be a skull and bonesman who was going to, be present on 9/11. Either way, you were going to have a bonesman there. Okay, so they've already set it up through the Electoral College and so on. Who's going to be there? So your vote does still technically count, and it does matter, but they've also lessened the odds of anything going wrong significantly for their overall plan, let's just say. So you have rioters backed by that political apparatus, and what happens is they'll go kill somebody like Floyd. Mark Hugh Squier when they do it, 2 years to the day after he made that Pink Floyd video, okay, where he plays Pink Floyd's music for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and then I just lost his name. Derek, the cop, puts his knee on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Okay, that's not a coincidence. Okay, obviously it's not a coincidence. 2 years to the day. So what they'll do is they'll use Hugh, because he represents the forefathers of our country. Okay, because he's related to Admiral Byrd, and he's related to Thomas Jefferson and so on. So he's got this big descendancy, and he's also got some heritage from the Queen. So the Queen, when she attacks through him, through military communication. All right, and 9/11 was all about this too, but we get that out another day. So the Queen attacks, marks Hugh, and then Trump decides he's going to attack by starting these riots, and they'll go kill somebody through the police that they own. Police are a lot of times part of the problem too, but they're hired out by the CIA. They're part of the pedophile networks. Not all of them, just certain ones, certain places. That's all part of Hugh's story as well. Okay, they definitely help cover up truth and drug deals at the very least. Okay, not saying all police are bad or nothing like that, but they'll go out, they'll use the police, and they'll kill somebody. And then they'll use the bikers, bikers for Trump and all this. The leaders are probably being hired out by his political machine to get their followers to go do all these bikers for Trump, parades or whatever you want to call them, motorcycle rides. Okay, so they'll go in, they'll kill somebody. That'll spark getting all the BLMers ready to riot. All right. And at the same time, they're sending their people in to actually start the riots. The bikers go in, they start the riots. Just Google it, Hell's Angels start riots in Minneapolis and all that. Yeah, and then the Black Lives Matter thinks it's about that, so they come in, and this is just all one big organized apparatus. This is what's really going on. This is the kind of stuff that's going on in your country. Most people can't put it together, but you could if you learn Hugh's truth. And that's really, really super important. So I will say, let me just show you a picture. If you don't know who Hugh is, I will put it here for you. Now, I don't know which one do you think you should vote for. Okay, do you think you should vote for somebody who is a pedophile, or do you want to vote for somebody who's actually attacking the Queen? Now, the one that gave the Queen that much trouble, I'm voting for him. Okay, doesn't mean he's completely right. He's covering up 9/11. He's not telling the truth about everything. But I am going to vote for Donald Trump as opposed to a pedophile and a slave trader. Okay, who's clearly part of the political machinery out to attack your country. So to me, the choice is clear. But neither one is a great, wonderful person that deserves our great admiration and respect. They're both hiding the truth at the very least. And in Biden and Kamala's case, they're very much being controlled and manipulated, just like Barack Obama through the Queen. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.